Welcome to Lesson 16, the Voice Recorder app. In this app, we're going to take advantage of the device's microphone to allow the user to make a voice recording. And I'll go ahead and launch the app right now on my device. As you can see here, when the app is first displayed on the screen, we have some buttons at the bottom of the screen, two of which are disabled. The save and delete buttons are disabled initially because you can't save or delete something until you first create a recording. And we also have a record toggle button, which when you touch it will start the recording process, and when you touch it again will stop the recording process. And finally, a View Saved Recordings button, which will take you to a separate activity for playback of existing recordings, for deleting existing recordings, and even give you the ability to email a recording as an attachment. Now, a couple of things that we need in order for this app to work. We're going to have to give the app permission to write files to the device's storage and also to use the microphone for the device as well. In addition, we'll take a look when we look at the View Saved Recordings list. We're going to be using what are known as clickable image views in this app. So we want the user to be able to touch an image view to cause something to happen in the app. We'll be using these in place of buttons, and we'll talk about that more in a couple of moments. So to do the recording, we'll be taking advantage of the Media Recorder class, which allows us to use the microphone to do recording. So let me go ahead and actually do a recording right now. I'll touch the record button, which again is a toggle button, so we'll see the little toggle indicator switch to green in a moment, and then it's going to record my voice as I speak here. So let's go ahead and do that. So now we're recording, and you can see as I speak, the more intense my voice is, the larger the green lines are that are being displayed on the screen. Now, as I keep speaking, eventually we're going to get to the point where the lines are scrolling off the screen because I'm only keeping track of the most recent intensity readings of my voice. And again, the higher the intensity, the larger the lines that get displayed. So let's go ahead and hit stop, and now it has stopped the recording process. Now I could hit the delete button here, in which case it'll give me a confirmation dialog, and I'll click cancel for the moment. If I hit the save button, then it's going to allow me to name my recording. So let me go ahead and do that, and I'll just call this test. And I'll hit save. And now it's ready for me to start a new recording if I would like, or I can go ahead and take a look at the list of saved recordings here. And what we have here is a graphical user interface that's going to allow me to play back a selected audio. So if you take a look here, you can see just one item in my list, the recording I just made, along with an email icon and a delete button icon, which is the red X. And these are image views that are clickable. Now, you may recall from the slideshow apps that we used custom list view items that had buttons in them. We didn't need to touch the name of a slideshow in those list views. We had buttons that caused all the different things to happen in there. But when you put buttons in a list view item, it turns out that the list view item itself is no longer clickable. You can fix that problem by making the buttons not focusable, if you would like, or you can use clickable image views, which is what we did here. So if I were to touch the red X, oops, I missed it. Try one more time, there we go. Then I get a confirmation dialog about deleting this, and I won't delete it at this time. If I touch the email icon, which I'll do in a few moments, it'll let me choose how to send this file as an attachment. And let's go ahead and do playback now. So I'm going to touch the name of the file, which I haven't done yet, at which point it will display the name of the file, it will immediately start playing the file, and you'll see the seek bar get updated as well. So let's go ahead and do that. You may be able to hear the playback, but it's actually playing back everything that I just did. And if I hit the pause button, it'll stop the playback, so you see that the seek bar is no longer updating. And if I hit play again, it'll keep playing. Okay, so you can do playback of your previously recorded items. And then the last feature here is this email icon. Now, what we're doing here is we're using an intent to create an intent chooser that displays for you all of the different apps on the device that are capable of sending a text message. In our case, we really just intended this to be an email. So, for example, if I select Google Mail, what it has now done is attached my file, test.3gp, to the email. Whoops. And I can go ahead and specify the to email address, and it will then send an email to the specified person with that voice recording as an attachment.